Goes to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhuji, whenever you are ready, you can please start reading, Prabhuji. Oh, okay. Okay, Mataji, I think so. Prabhuji, I have not yet joined. I'll start reading, Prabhuji. Mataji. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam. Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet. नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवते उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी. Hare Krishna devotees, anybody are interested to read? You can read, otherwise I can read.
Mataji, if you want, I can continue. Like reading and an explanation, if nobody else is available.
No, I can read, Mataji. You can take a break for like 2 minutes. I can read. I'm just asking if anybody are interested. Okay, I'll start reading. So today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 13, The Stealing of the Boys and the Calves by Brahma. Text 1. Srila Sukadev Goswami said, O best of devotees, most fortunate Parikshit, you have inquired very nicely, for although constantly hearing the pastimes of the Lord, you are perceiving his activities to be newer and newer. Text 2. Paramahamsa devotees who have accepted the essence of life are attached to Krishna in the core of their hearts, and he is the aim of their lives. It is their nature to talk only of Krishna at every moment, as if such topics were newer and newer. They are attached to such topics just as materialistics are attached to the topics of woman and sex. Text 3. O King, kindly hear me with a great attention. Although the activities of the Supreme Lord are very confidential, no ordinary man being able to understand them, I shall speak about them to you. For spiritual masters, explain to a submissive disciple even the subject matters that are very confidential and difficult to understand. Text 4. Then, after saving the boys and calves from the mouth of Aghasura, who was depth personified, Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, brought them all to the bank of the river and spoke the following words. Text 5. My dear friends, just see how this river bank is extremely beautiful because of its pleasuring atmosphere, and just see how the blooming lotus are attracting bees and birds by their aroma. The humming and the creeping of the bees and the birds is echoing throughout the beautiful trees in the forest. Also, here the sands are clean and soft. Therefore, this must be considered the best place for our sporting and pastimes. Text 6. I think we should take our lunch here since we are already hungry because the time is very late. Here the calves may drink water and go slowly here and there and eat the grass. Text 7. Accepting Lord Krishna's proposal, the cowherd boys allowed the calf to drink water from the river and then tied them to trees where there was green tender grass. Then the boys opened their basket of food and began eating with Krishna in great transcendental pleasure. Text 8. Like the oral of the lotus flower surrounded by its petals and leaves, Krishna sat in the center, encircled li- by the lines of his friends, who all looked very beautiful. Even one of them was trying to look forward towards Krishna, thinking that Krishna might look towards him. In this way, they all enjoyed their lunch in the forest. Text 9. Among the cowhead boys, some place their lunch on flowers, some on leaves, fruits or bunches of leaves, some actually in their baskets, some on the bark of the trees, and some on the rocks. That is what the children imagine to be their plates as they are their lunch. Text 10. All the cowhead boys enjoyed their lunch with Krishna, showing one another the different taste of the different varieties of the preparations they had bought from home. Tasting one another preparation, they began to laugh and make one another laugh. Text level. Krishna is Yaja Bhuka. That is, he eats only offering of yajna. But to exhibit his childhood pastimes, he now sat with his flute trunked between his waist pa- and his tight cloth on his right side, and with his own lung and the cow driving stick on his left, holding in his hands a very nice preparations of yogurt and rice, with pieces of suitable fruits between his fingers. He sat like the oral of the lotus flower, looking forward towards all his friends, personally joking with them and creating jubilation laughter among them as he ate. At that time, he denizens of the heaven were watching, struck with the wonder at how the personality of cowhead, who eats only a yajna, who was now eating with his friends in the forest. Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna Rasa Chandrika Mataji, please accept our humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Mataji, please take over the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mataji, for reading the translation. And thank you for giving this opportunity that I can sit here and purify my tongue today by reading Bhagavatam. So, in the previous, I have to do my prayers. I'll start with prayers. ॐ अज्ञानं तिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमतिभक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यातीशतारिणे जय श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवास आदि गौरभक्तवृन्द हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा Dandavat Pranam. So, dear devotees, today we are doing 10th canto, 13th chapter. We are beginning the 13th chapter. In the previous chapter, about yesterday, we read the Leela where Krishna had finished, killed Aghasur. So, after that Leela, there was a new Leela that was about to start. And surprisingly, on the same day. And it is called as Brahma Vimohana Leela. So, in the context that we are going to read today, from verse number 1 to 11, we will set the stage for Brahma Vimohan Leela to start. So, here, starting with verse number 1, Srila Sukadev Goswami is saying that, oh, best of devotees is talking to Parikshit Maharaj, that you ask very amazing questions. What happened after? It is very nice and very intelligent to ask good questions when there is katha going on, to dive deep into the philosophy. This really helps us also when we are doing class, Sunday lectures, and when people are asking questions, there is good inquiry. You can get good, satisfying answers and ways to how to you live your life. So here we see that here Parikshit Maharaj is being praised by Srila Sukadev Goswami that you have asked very nicely. And I see that the more I'm talking about Krishna Katha, the more you want to hear. So Prabhupada goes on to elaborating this point a little bit over here. He says that Parikshit Maharaj is being addressed over here as Bhagavatottama. That means a very uttam, like higher quality of a bhakta. So he says, what does this mean? This means a person who is never satisfied. Satisfied as in he still desires more and more of hearing the Krishna Katha. Excuse me. even though the katha is the one that he's already heard. And Prabhupada distinguishes two type of devotees over here. One is advanced devotee and one is a neophyte devotee. A neophyte devotee might hear a katha, and the next time you're telling the same katha again, he's like, it's okay, I don't have to hear because I know. I've already heard. बहुत पहले से सुना. This kind of attitude comes into the I know everything. This is what Prabhupada is saying. Will a neophyte devotee act like? But an advanced devotee like Parikshit Maharaj, even if he's uh, being hearing the same katha over and over again, he will be very blissful. There are leelas where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to keep reading the same chapter again and again from Srimad Bhagavatam, because though he's heard it, but still there was an excitement, right? There was an example set for us. So here Prabhupada says that hearing is one of the best thing you can apply in your life for advancement in your spiritual life. So I was just researching a little bit on hearing, like how we can understand hearing, and then I realized Krishna is telling us in Bhagavad Gita only so many times, think about me, give me your mind, hear about me. So we see that Krishna's main aim of Bhagavad Gita is Manmana Bhav Mat Bhakto. That only he repeats twice. Then he says, Mai Buddhi Niveshaya, give me your mind. Mai Ashakta Mana, give me your mind. Mam Anusmarana, remember me and then fight for me. Anannas Chintayanto Mam, Satatam Kirtayanto Mam. So many times Krishna has been saying to do this, that the more you listen, the more you hear, the more you will do smaran. And the more you do smaran, again, you want to listen because it is so peaceful, it is so fruitful and so delicious to taste the nectar of Krishna Katha over and over again. So here, when we hear, we should hear to become better in our spiritual position, like to develop in our spirituality. So the attention should be very intact in that. Then I have heard Vaisheshika Maharaj also, he always says this, KTTVG, keep the transcendental vibration going on. Right? So this vibration should never stop. There should be constant remembrance of Krishna. There has to be constant chanting of Krishna. And when there is constant chanting of Krishna, you want to hear more and more because it's so nectarian. So what I was trying to understand yesterday was we say we are stuck in a vicious circle of birth and death. But when you start hearing, you are in a very beautiful circle of hearing and remembering, of hearing and remembering. The more you hear, the more you taste. So here I was trying to look for a verse, and by references, I found out this verse from Bhagavatam itself, 3.9.5. Here, if we read the translation, it says, "O my Lord, persons who smell the aroma of your lotus feet, carried by the air of Vedic sound through the holes of the year, accept your devotional service." A person can become a devotee most importantly by Shravanam. And this is why Prahalad Maharaj also gave us the Navada Bhakti. He said Shravanam as the first one thing. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Pada Sevanam. So hearing is absolutely very, very important. For them, you are never separated from the lotus of their hearts. So the more you hear, the more you're inclined. I'll go back. Uh, So here in this first verse, this is what I could assimilate. Moving on to the next verse, here Prabhupada is saying, Sukadev Goswami is saying, Paramhamsas, devotees who have accepted the essence of life, are attached to Krishna in the core of their hearts, and that is the aim of your life. Guru Maharaj says that if you have an appetite, you will enjoy the food. So you have to be really hungry if you're going to have your meal, because then you're going to actually um, relish it really better. So the more you hear in bhakti, the more you are able, the more you desire, the more you want to learn. We have heard these kathas, like, say, for example, of Brahma Vimohan Leela. But every time we read, there is something extra we are able to understand that we did not understand the previous time. So this is what Prabhupada keeps focusing on to the puppet also over here, that listening for us is very important. And what listening? Obviously, Krishna Katha. Here, Prabhupada is saying that a Paramhamsa, in the core of his life, the center of his life is Krishna. He will do other activities as per required, as per his dharma. But the center will only be Krishna. They talk about only Krishna, otherwise they don't talk. There is no kind of atyahar. If there is an atyahar, then it is in hearing about Krishna Katha. Right? So this is what Prabhupada goes on explaining, that how beautiful a life of a Paramhamsa is. And then we know Hamsa. Hamsa is a swan. And when you mix milk and water and give it to Hamsa, this is an amazing quality the Hamsa has, that he will be drinking the milk, leaving the water behind. And Prabhupada says this is the attitude that we should also observe in our life of being a Hamsa, as in we should practice getting only the important and the zest out of a talk, and that should be about Krishna Katha. And here Prabhupada says that there are three kind of worldly things which every person has to face, which is kama, krodha, bhaya. So he is saying that this kind of kama, krodha, and bhaya should be also, you can also be used in developing your bhakti. Prabhupada says, Kamam Krishna karma pade. It means the desire should be constantly to act for Krishna, to achieve the lotus feet of Krishna. And after this, I was thinking this best example, as per my understanding, would be Amrish Maharaj. He practiced all the Navada Bhakti. Why? The whole act was like, he had the desire of his Indriya, all his senses were engaged in serving Krishna, and he was using it for Krishna. So Kama was there, but Kama was for uh, directed towards Krishna. That Kama is beautiful Kama. Then Krodha. Prabhupada is saying here, Krodam Bhakta Dveshi Jane. It's like Krodh. We all have suffer with the element of anger in our life. What do we do? How can we deviate this? So here Prabhupada says that anger should be used only for the people who are attacking the devotees. Hmm. So when I was thinking of this, I could think about Krishna. Krishna himself, Bhagavan. He was angry on Bhishma Pitama because he was attacking Arjuna. Right? He had taken out the vow that I will not lift any kind of weapon in Mahabharata Yuddha. Right? But still, he got the wheel out of from the chariot and was ready to attack Bhishma Pitama and was very furious. And the reason was because a devotee was attacked. So for us, when a devotee is chastised, we should not be hearing that. We should have something to say about it. Bhaya. Bhaya is also one of the very important component in a person's life in this material world. And here Prabhupada is saying that we should have a lot of bhaya. Intense bhaya should be there in our life. And but that should be regarding getting deviated from Krishna consciousness. Regarding getting deviated from Krishna, from our path of bhakti, or from Krishna himself. So I could think of Yudhishthir Maharaj. In Canto 1, Yudhishthir Maharaj, when he saw bad omens around him, he was really scared. Not because there were bad omens or wrong things will happen. He was scared that Krishna is no more around us. So he was very tensed and worried. Like what has happened to Krishna? That kind of bhaya is a very good bhaya. So that kind of bhaya should be in our life, is what Prabhupada is explaining. Then we move on to verse number 3. Here, from 3 onwards to 11, we don't have much translation because, puppets, because it is quite self-explanatory. Here we see that with in third, Sukadev Goswami says that you are a very person with rapt attention, and these are very very confidential and difficult topics. And these topics I will explain to you because you're a very very good disciple. We also see this happen between Krishna and Arjun. Krishna could have said Bhagavad Gita to anyone, anywhere. He could have spoken to Yudhishthir Maharaj also. He could have given this gyan like, come everybody sit down together. I will preach, you listen. There are so many circumstances could have happened, but Krishna chose to give the gyan of Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. Why? Because the disciple's mind, Arjuna as a disciple, was epic, impeccable. And here it is Parikshit Maharaj. And from here, there are no translations forward. Text number 4. Here, Krishna, it is said that after saving all the boys and the calves from Aghasur, which was in the previous chapter we saw, and he saved everybody, no harm went to any of the boys or the calves. He brought them, and he brought them towards the river bank, and there they are going to sit down. And Krishna in verse number 5 will say, uh, look at the like he's explaining the beauty of this river bank. So it's very beautifully described here. It's a very pleasing atmosphere. There are bees humming, there are birds chirping, very beautiful wind passing by. And when the wind is flowing, it's having beautiful aromas in it. And this echo of chirping and humming is making the vibrations in the forest very divya, very transcendental. uh, the sand on the floor, like Jameen, is very nice and soft, and it feels very pleasing to walk on it. And Prabhupada, in the purport, a little bit, he says this is the exactly same Vrindavan that all the Goswamis, Chatta Goswamis, describe to us in their Shastra also. This is about 500, 600, 700 years also, 500, 600 years also. Vrindavan was like that. But because we have become a little too calmy, we can say Brindavan is changing. But he says still, till date, to the eyes of the devotees, it is still this beautiful. So we should also, when we visit Vrindavan Dham, we should first read Katha and have this vision of Vrindavan, which is very beautiful. Something that is beyond our imagination because we don't see such beautiful places anymore. So this in this verse there is a beauty description for Vrindavan Dham. And then Krishna tells all his friends that he thinks that we should sit down over here only. It is a very calming atmosphere. The calves can have their water from the flowing river. We can also sit down. There is nice grass, and everybody will be taken care of. And we should eat food. It's very, very late today, and we are all hungry. And after he said that, Krishna said that, all his friends, absolutely, I mean, Krishna is saying they followed and they agreed to the instructions, saying, yes, we'll sit down right here. So in that circle, Krishna sat in the center. So here in the translation, the example is given of a lotus. There is a lotus whirl, right, in the center, and then there are so many petals around it. We see. So just like that, Krishna sat in the center. Krishna sat in such a position that whoever was there lined up in circles, they thought that Krishna is looking at only me. He is looking at only the food I got. He is having communications and this very beautiful conversation only with me. So this is the kind of beautiful atmosphere was that. There is a beauty of Krishna, a description of beauty of Krishna over here, in which it is said that Krishna is so simple. He is just wearing a simple dhoti, and there is a tight cloth which is tied on his waist so that he can fix his flute in that and doesn't fall. And then on the left side, he has the bugle and the stick to herd the calves. And he's holding the rice and curd mixture in his hand. And between his fingers, he's having different kind of fruits, which he's eating. So that description is also very, very beautiful. And everybody sits over there and are eating the food in a very beautiful manner. And then they say they have no plates. There are no plates. What are they using as plates? They're using bark of tree, leaf from tree, stone, a rock. So it is simple living, high thinking, perfect example. There's no fancy. Everybody is just so happy, so blissful because Krishna is around them. And then this is how all of them enjoyed the beautiful tastes. And Krishna was fidgeting, as in playing with them. No, this is what we do with our friends. We tease each other. And when we tease each other, we have a lot of fun, we laugh out. And same kind of situation is here in text 11 also. Krishna, here it is said, he is Yagya Bhuk. As in, for according to Devi Devatas, they do a lot of yagyas. And when there is yagya, there is fire in the center. That fire is tongue of Vishnu. And whatever they have to give to Krishna, Krishna as in Vishnu, they give it through that fire. So he's Yagya Bhuk, na Bhukta Ram Yagya Tapasa. So he is that kind of personality. And now the Devi Devatas are watching what is happening. How are people calling him Bhagavan? Look at his simple attire. Look at the way how he's eating his fruits in between from his fingers. And all his friends are sharing his food with them. Is sometimes giving the same bite, and that same jutha bite they are giving to Krishna in his mouth, and Krishna is eating and enjoying. And then Krishna is playing teases on his friend where he's saying, "Oh, ho, ho, look, there is a bumblebee flying over here. What are you trying to do, bumblebee? Are you going to attack my friend Madhumangal? What do you want to do? You want to kill a Brahmana? You cannot do this by your by your bite enough. Madhumangal can die." So, and then everybody is laughing. They're making jokes about each other. And when they see the Devi Devtas see such a beautiful scene, which is a very regular thing that can happen between friends, they start wondering, how is this Bhagavan? We are Devi Devatas in the higher planetary system, and we don't offer anything to Krishna like this. Jutha from our mouth. So how is Krishna getting all these things? There's instance where I've heard in Katha that Madhumangal was drinking chas or lassi, what you say, buttermilk. And Krishna said, "I want it." And Madhumangal says, "No, I'm not sharing." So he gulps down it. And he has a face like this. And Krishna goes to slam him like this. And when the buttermilk comes out from Madhumangal's mouth, Krishna is ready to drink it. So when you see all these things, this kind of rasa, it keeps the devatas up there bewildered. It's like, this is Bhagavan. So here we will end, because now we'll start the next one to next week. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna. Very nicely spoken.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.